Hi and welcome back to Dean Park. In today's video I've got something a bit special. We've not just got one nor two but three brand new Bachmann Class 47s joining the Dean Park fleet. Now some of you may be thinking, hold on Dave, the updated Class 47's been out for over a year now. So what's really special about these three new models? Well, retailers have finally taken delivery of the Scottish based 47711, which also features a new lighting arrangement not previously modelled. I also have the Kernow Exclusive Class 47 Billingham Enterprise, and not to forget the standard BR Blue number 47435. I hope you enjoy the video. Please hit those like and subscribe icons and post off feedback in the comments section below. Right, let's look at these 347s, starting with 47711. Greyfriars Bobby was named the Edinburgh Waverley by Sir Peter Parker, who was at the time chairman of the BR board, and the name was chosen as the winner of a Radio Clyde competition in April 1981. This name was chosen ahead of William Wallace in the competition, the correct decision in my opinion. For those of you who don't know, I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson regarding Greyfriars Bobby. This was actually named after an actual Skye Terrier dog from the 19th century. The dog's name was Bobby, who upon the death of his owner John Gray guarded his grave for 14 years. John was buried at Greyfriars Kirkyard in the old town of Edinburgh, so hence the name Greyfriars Bobby. It's a true story, and there's a cast statue erected in Edinburgh which is now a famous tourist attraction, and it was for a while good luck to go up and touch the dog's nose. As you can see from the photograph there, the black paint has worn away to the cast metal below. 47711 had its plates removed in December 1990. Originally in BR Blue with a silver grey roof, it later received the attractive large logo colour scheme, which in my opinion really suited the Scottish Class 47s. It was assigned to Haymarket Depot before moving to Eastfield Depot in 87, where it lasted until 1990 before being moved with most of the other 47/7s down south. This particular one being based at Plymouth. The 47 Subclass 7 were modified 47-4s to replace the ageing fleet of top and tailed Class 27s that were running express passenger services between Edinburgh and Glasgow. These 47s were modified to run at 100 miles an hour, along with TDM cables to allow push-pull operation. These conversions took place from 1979. Looking at this new model, I'm immediately drawn to the impressive large logo livery. As I said earlier, this livery really suited the 47s, and Bachmann really have done it justice. I own a few of their 47s in this livery, but this is by far the best looking one. The colours and finish are just first class. I really can't draw any negative comment on it. The edges are crisp and all the printed details are flawless. Bachmann have even incorporated a kind of painted over builder's plate on the side of the cab there. You could probably just see it underneath the windows. That is really a nice touch. It was present on the real loco, and it's good to see that Bachmann have done their homework here. The model itself is the first of its kind to tool the car headlight that was fitted on some Scottish locos, including Class 26s and 37s. When Bachmann first announced this model back in 2019, it was using the previous tooling, which wouldn't have allowed the Halfords headlight to be used, so by delaying it until the new model arrived was a smart and welcomed move. The lamp itself is a different colour to that of the marker lights and really does capture the look incredibly well. You'll get a better idea of this when I show you the model running. Staying at the cab, you can instantly see that this Class 47 has been modified for push-pull duties for use on the ScotRail Express services between Edinburgh and Glasgow. This modification allowed the train to be driven from a driving brake second open coach, or DBSO, which was situated at the other end of the train. This stopped the need for turning around or changing of locos at each end of the journey, speeding up the changeover of services from both Waverley and Queen Street. I'll be able to recreate this service using my Oxford Rail Blue-Grey Mark 3A coaches with matching Bachmann Mark 2F DBSO. The buffers in this loco are picked out in silver and they look really convincing. I think they're actually just polished metal and not painted silver like you see on other models. They've got a real quality look about them, and of course they're sprung as well. The cab has a deeper relief with lots more printed detail, along with a more accurate representation of the driver's console. The cab is lit with an accurate shade of light as are the marker lights at the front. The engine room lights are perhaps a little bit on the bright side, but I really am being a bit picky here. Seam lines on the body are well hidden and hardly noticeable. There is a slight seam line on the cab roof. I initially thought this might look obvious in the large logo livery, but actually you can't see it in the light shade of grey. It's more obvious on the darker logos. Underframe detail for the 47 subclass 7 is correct, including the additional pipework picked out in white. In the real world this got quickly weathered, so it wasn't always noticeable. The bogies on the new Class 47 from Bachmann have a deeper detail and relief than on the previous model, and they really are impressive. Probably one of the best looking bogies on the 00 gauge market. So overall, it's a perfect package. Or is it? The ice cube or clamshell packaging on the latest Bachmann releases has been causing some issues. If you're not careful, you can catch a lamp iron or grab rail while closing the case. It's also extremely tight for space around the cab roof, and those Class 47s with aerials often suffer from bending, or in the case I had recently, a shortening of the aerial due to snapping. There's a black foam padding at the top, which is great, but it doesn't give the cab aerial enough room. Previous packaging had a moulded shape to cater for this delicate part, and I've passed my observations on to someone at Bachmann, and I urge them to make changes to this design without any further delay. You can modify it yourself by cutting some of the foam padding away, but obviously if it's been shipped from China and then to your retailer and then your retailer to your house, it heightens the chances of some bending of the cab aerials, which is a real bugbear of mine. The same issues can also be said for the packaging on the new Class 20, which rubs at the corners of the logo and can, in the majority of cases I've seen, cause bending or snapping of the running plate area. So again, it's just, not flimsy packaging, it just needs a bit of better thought to keep the logo secured in the right places. The second new Class 47 to arrive at Dean Park this week is the Kernow Model Rail Centre Exclusive 47363 Billingham Enterprise, which wears the very striking rail freight red livery. This deluxe edition costs just shy of £370, so it's certainly what I would class as a luxury item. Whilst this model is well presented, the first model I received came damaged, with bent and broken and snapped parts, possibly as a result of the packaging and perhaps a rough ride while in transit. This was deeply frustrating for me, and I'm sure equally so for Kernow, as they had to deal with my return and issue a replacement. But all credit to them, they were, as always, quick to respond to any issue. This model itself is equally as impressive as Greyfriars Bobby in terms of the tooling and the details on the Bachmann Class 47. The livery shades are spot on and well represented. This model is also rather unusual as it sports a black plated head code with seal beam marker lights at both ends. There are also subtle differences to the position and the size of the BR double arrow and the length of the red stripe, which does not extend along the whole side of the logo. This really makes the model stand out. You might be asking why I've opted for a model that has the town of Billingham in its name. After all, it's not very Scottish. In fact, it was assigned to Thornaby Depot for much of the 1980s, before moving to Tinsley near the end of 1990. However, it did spend a bit of time up north, operating in the Central Belt, Fife, and even up to Inverness during this decade. Therefore I couldn't resist the purchase, as it actually operated passenger services through my hometown. The loco received its nameplates in December 1985, which remained in place until 1991. This Class 47 lasted until 2010, when it finally met the cutter's torch at Booths. The model Kernow have chosen to model is the loco in late 1986 onwards livery, with its black head code. This was something that wasn't there when it was originally outshopped in this livery. It's worth noting that Lima also produced this model back in the last century. However, the game has moved on somewhat since then. third and final Class 47 under inspection today is 47435. This loco is a 40 subclass 4 variant, which was a conversion from the 40 subclass 0 with the fitting of electric train heating. The number of locos in this subclass increased throughout the 1970s and into the next decade. However, it has to be noted that the first 20 Class 47s were actually built with both steam and an early type of electric train heating already fitted. Later conversions used a newer electric type system using an AC alternator. This particular model depicts 435 in its early 1980s condition, with glass headcode and domino marker lights and no high intensity headlight. The model was actually announced way back in 2019 along with Greyfriars Bobby and was due to appear in the previously tooled Bachmann Class 47. Thankfully Bachmann held off and have presented 435 in the newly detailed version. But one thing I find strange is that Bachmann have now released two Class 47s in BR Blue, both with domino headcodes, both with no high intensity headlight. It would have been better if they'd given us a BR Blue machine with a high intensity headlight, something that's not been modelled in general release from Bachmann in a BR Blue Class 47. I, along with many others, are desperate for one of these later BR Blue variants. I think the market is pretty saturated with early Blue 47s, especially with Kernow having another exclusive in BR Blue, again with no headlight. An unusual move. Anyway, back to 435 and what a lovely model it is. This deluxe version is really flawlessly presented with a deep, rich Monstro blue and full yellow ends. Bachmann really do produce some beautiful and robust paint finishes, and this is no exception. I picked this model up from Scoonie Hobbies in Kirkcaldy, which I had on pre-order since the spring when it was announced. The face on these new 47s really is a work of art, with neatly fitted glazed domino headbox. What makes this model different from the previous Class 47 in BR Blue is the inclusion of an ETH bracket on the front of the cab. This was later moved onto the buffer beam, but some 47s retained this bracket. When I fit the front details to the number 1 end, this will give the front of the loco a different look from the other EHT fitted Class 47s that I've got. All printed details are sharp and readable, sometimes under a magnifying glass, and Bachmann really have done their homework here and everything is where it should be. As with the previous two models in this video, the underframe is specific to the loco, with a wealth of fine and separately fitted parts, including the orange conduit, which really does improve the appearance on the newly tooled model. This loco was never named in BR service and retained BR Blue, albeit with a silver grey roof, right through to its withdrawal in 1990 and subsequent scrapping in December 1993 at booths. 435 was stationed in Scotland for a period in the 1970s and was a return visitor during the 1980s period. Out of the 347s featured in the video, which do you like the look of the most? And given the choice, which would you prefer to have on your own layout? Please share your choice in the comment section below. I'm now going to give these models a run on the layout and come back and give you my verdict. Livery shades and proportions are spot on, and I'm especially taken by the large logo 711. Even the painted over builder's plates are carefully added to the cab sides, which aren't instantly noticeable, but a nice touch. These updated 47s really have a serious bit of hauling power, and are probably the most capable Bachmann loco released to date. The factory fitted sound is good, with the speakers doing an admirable job. However, as with everything, there's always scope for improvement if you want a deeper sound. I'd recommend getting in touch with Richard at Roads and Rails, and he'll advise you if you wish to upgrade any of the speakers. The lighting package on this model is top rate. Perhaps toning down the engine room lighting a little bit would enhance things even further, but I really am being picky here. Bachmann continue to produce well designed and built locos. However, I know there's some of you who've had problems with the odd paint issue. The packaging is a concern of mine. It needs tweaked to stop damage being caused either during transit or when placing the model back in its packaging, especially for the versions with cab roof aerials. The 47s are packed with detail and separately fitted parts, which are robust enough for everyday handling. The NEM snowplow, however, is poor and needs improved. Value for money, using the deluxe model featured. I now feel that we're past the point of models being affordable by the majority of modelers, which is a shame as they are really beautiful. With the current global climate and poor exchange rate of the pound to dollar, I can't see these prices going down anytime too soon, so it's only a 3 out of 5 rating for me. All of this gives the model a 4.5 out of 5 rating, showing that even some of the best models don't deliver the perfect package. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching and I've got some useful information from it. Please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe icons and post any feedback in the comment section below. In the meantime, happy modelling, stay safe, cheers for now.